In my last video about the Oculus Rift S, I said that the Oculus Rift S sat in the middle between the Valve Index and the Quest 2. After some very nice comments left on the video itself and other social medias, I thought I would explain. So in this video, I'm going to explain my reasoning and why you should be wary of buying the Rift S. The Oculus Quest 2 is not a cheaply built headset, and I would even recommend getting it over the Valve Index for just the price alone. However, if you can find the Oculus Rift S for cheap on eBay and have it in good working condition, then I would recommend getting that too. The Oculus Rift S uses a single display, similar to the Quest 2, instead of two displays for each eye like the Valve Index. The set resolution of the Rift S is 1440p, which is higher than 1080p, but lower than 4K, which is ideally what you would want, high resolution and high refresh rate. The resolution of the Quest 2 is 1832 by 1920, which is higher than the Rift S, and even higher than the Valve Index. Resolution isn't the only thing that makes the VR experience great, however. Refresh rate and field of view are also two important factors when VR is brought up. The refresh rate and field of view of the Rift S is 80 Hz for refresh rate, which can only produce somewhat above 60 FPS. And from the small information online, the FOV is only 95 degrees, which the human eye can see 180 degrees of vision. Now, why would I ever recommend getting a headset that's being outperformed, discontinued, and not being fixed by Oculus themselves? If you are on a budget and can't afford an Index and a PC to run it, then you're heading to the used market. It really doesn't take much to run VR itself. It's when you play games like Half-Life Alyx that take some serious power. Speaking of Half-Life Alyx, go watch my video about Valve. I talked about it, and yeah, it would help me. Thank you. I remember a few years back, it wasn't too much to upgrade what I already had to run VR, and then the original Rift was the only Oculus headset. To be fair, I had somewhat of a good PC then too, but just not enough to run VR. And don't think I forgot about the PlayStation users. If you really are on a budget and can't afford to get a PC or even a PC to run VR, but you already have a PlayStation, so you can still play VR, not gonna lie, it makes me look at some other companies a little different. I don't personally own a PSVR, but I have a friend that does, and from my experience using it, if you're looking for some quick and easy VR games to play using it, then you'll enjoy the PSVR. However, if you think you're going to play the PSVR with games like Half-Life Alyx or Boneworks, then I would just look somewhere else. The comfortability is nothing compared to the Quest 2, and even the Quest 2 hasn't been known to have pretty garbage stock straps and facial interfaces. The Rift S isn't a perfect headset, and if you have the money to afford the Quest 2 or enough to afford the Index, then I wouldn't buy the Rift S. But if you're able to pick one up used for a good price, then I could totally understand someone purchasing it. A big criticism of my last video was, what if the cable breaks or the controller rings for the controller to break? Both the cable and the controllers can be found on eBay for prices roughly around controller prices for any other console. Again, it sits in the middle for me, the Oculus Quest 2 being the easiest to set up and use, only to be a pain to configure for PC, the Valve Index being the most expensive and easiest to set up for PC while not having a wireless option, and a used Rift S being cheaper than both with no wireless option and easy to use for PC. However, the Oculus Quest 2 is a nice headset and all, but 8 months into its life cycle, I wouldn't recommend it either. The Oculus Quest 1 was not even a full year old when it was replaced with its superior counterpart. So if you were going to get into VR, I would wait to see what Oculus has to offer before buying the Quest 2. Mark Zuckerberg has even been quoted saying that not only is Facebook working on the Quest 3, but it's also in the early stages of the Quest 4. Knowing that the next headset and possibly the next headset after that are right around the corner, and the Quest 2 nearing the same time frame the original Quest got overshadowed, I wouldn't be buying anything from the Quest lineup until the next one is released. With all that being said, thank you all for watching, follow me on Twitter because that's where I stay the most active, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.